Have you ever met someone so utterly convinced of their own brilliance, their own invincibility, that they seemed to cast a shadow over everyone else? Someone who walked with such an air of superiority that it felt like they expected the world to part for them. Today we delve into the timeless story of just such a man. A tale that whispers a powerful truth about the dangers of unchecked arrogance. This is the story of Alaric, a man whose pride was both his greatest strength and ultimately his most profound weakness. Alaric was a merchant of considerable renown in the ancient city of Viridian. His ships plied the seas, laden with exotic silks and rare spices, bringing him immense wealth. He possessed a sharp mind, a keen eye for opportunity, and a silver tongue that could charm fortunes out of the most reluctant buyers. But with his growing fortune, so too grew his ego. Alaric believed himself to be a cut above everyone else, the undisputed master of his domain. He scoffed at advice, dismissed the council of elders, and treated those he deemed lesser with thinly veiled disdain. His workers toiled under his harsh demands, fearing his temper more than respecting his leadership. One day, a fierce storm brewed on the horizon, threatening the entire region. The seasoned sailors, weathered by countless voyages, warned Alaric. "The signs are dire, master," one old sailor pleaded, his voice raspy with experience. "Our ships must stay in port. To venture out now would be madness." Alaric merely laughed, a cold, dismissive sound that cut through the tension. "Madness? Or perhaps you lack the courage for true enterprise, old man?" He boasted, "My ships are strong, my navigators unmatched. No storm can defeat Alaric." Against all warnings, Alaric commanded his fleet to set sail, convinced that his will alone could defy the forces of nature. The storm, however, was far more ferocious than even the elders had predicted. Waves the size of mountains crashed against the hulls. Masts snapped like twigs, sails shredded to ribbons, and the mighty vessels that were Alaric's pride and joy became playthings of the tempest. From his grand manor, Alaric watched the storm's fury, his usual composure slowly eroding. Each clap of thunder felt like a judgment. When the storm finally subsided, leaving behind a bruised and battered coastline, the devastating truth emerged. Every single one of Alaric's ships, along with their precious cargo and much of their crews, was lost. His fortune was gone. His empire, built on the shifting sands of his own self-importance, had crumbled in a single night. The city that once marveled at his wealth now whispered of his hubris. The people who once feared him now pitied him, or worse, ignored him. Humbled and broken, Alaric was forced to confront the harsh reality. He was not invincible. His pride had blinded him to the wisdom of others. He had underestimated the power of nature and, more importantly, overestimated the power of himself. In his despair, Alaric sought out the old sailor he had once mocked. He found him mending nets by the shore. With a voice devoid of its former arrogance, Alaric confessed his foolishness. "I was wrong," he admitted, his eyes downcast. "My pride cost me everything." The old sailor, without a trace of "I told you so," simply nodded. "The sea teaches many lessons, young master," he said softly. "And sometimes, the greatest strength lies not in defying the currents, but in knowing when to yield, when to listen, and when to learn." From that day forward, Alaric began a new life. He started small, working diligently, learning from his mistakes. He listened to others, valued their experience, and offered help where he once offered only demands. He learned that true leadership was not about dominating, but about serving. Not about being right, but about seeking wisdom. Slowly, painstakingly, Alaric rebuilt his life, not with the goal of vast riches, but with the aim of honest work and genuine connections. He might never have regained his former wealth, but he gained something far more precious: wisdom, humility, and the respect of his community. The story of Alaric reminds us that while ambition and self-belief are valuable, unchecked arrogance is a dangerous companion. It can blind us to impending dangers, alienate us from those who could offer guidance, and ultimately lead to our downfall. True strength lies in recognizing our limitations, in valuing the insights of others, and in cultivating a spirit of humility. For it is often when we are most sure of ourselves that we are most vulnerable to the unseen currents of life. So let us learn from Alaric's journey. Let us strive for success, yes, but let us always temper our ambition with an open mind and a humble heart. Because in the grand tapestry of life, the threads of kindness, respect, and humility weave a far more enduring legacy than any amount of pride. What lessons has arrogance taught you or someone you know? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story insightful, please like and subscribe for more tales of wisdom and reflection. Thank you for watching, and may your journey be guided by wisdom, not by the shadow of pride.